In selecting a case, I'm looking for something simple that has a definite chain of events where there are clear personalities and a clear problem to be solved and something that's not too technical.
Try to choose a case that covers the main objective, which is teach a particular thing, and then try to include as many aspects in the case that the student can relate to.
I care very much that the case addresses the same topic that I'm covering in class. But it doesn't always have to sort of fit perfectly, because real life cases don't necessarily fit the theory that you happen to be covering in class that day. So I allow a fairly wide breadth of the topics that might be covered. I weave that into the lecture, and then I move the lecture on to talk about the topics that I thought were really core to cover. So I actually don't select cases particularly because they have this one lesson that I'd like to cover. More so, I look for cases where there's a puzzle, where there's an issue, where there's really going to be a good discussion, and it requires creative solutions on the part of students.
I would say the best sort of case is one that's open-ended, where there doesn't seem to be any sort of solid right or wrong, or good or bad, or where there's almost two very different opinions or two very different ways of going about something, and that way students are able to debate it and think about it and be able to use it in perspective of the language, instead of having something that's cut and clear, which is a lot easier to forget, and you don't work with that sort of material as in depth as you would where you have options to think about ways to express yourself and your opinion. So the best sort of cases are ones where there's no right or wrong answer and you're allowed to debate and demonstrate your opinion on the matter.